In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how do we create a work order for non-serialized parts or for one serialized part. If you have more than one serialized part, please see the video on creating a work order for multiple serialized parts. Let's get started. The first thing we want to do is navigate to the work order screen, and I do that by clicking on the work menu and then work order button. When I get to the work order screen, the system will default to a split view. I have the option to expand the screen to the right or to the left, or take it back to a split screen. For me, I'm going to expand it left so we have the full screen to work with. To create a new work order, I'm simply going to click on the new record button. The first thing I do when creating a new work order is select the piece of equipment, which is going to be the part number listed on the purchase order. I can do this in one of two ways. I can click inside the equipment text box and then simply type in the part number on the PO, or I can click on the magnifying glass, click on the Run button, and this equipment lookup will display all the available pieces of equipment that I can select. So if I want, I can do a search based on the description, hit enter, highlight the one you want to select, and then hit OK. The system will return that piece of equipment and the appropriate description grayed out here on the screen. The next thing I want to do is select the standard work order. The standard work order number is the same as the service master number listed on your PO. So again, I can type it in directly here, or I can click on the magnifying glass and do a search. The next thing I want to do is select the appropriate status. So if I'm in receiving creating this work order for the first time, I'm going to simply put it in an in receiving status and then click on the save button. The system will generate a message saying that this work order has been successfully saved. By clicking on this work order, the standard work order number, the system automatically generated the service master number and the service master revision number. If the service master revision number does not match what's on the purchase order, you can change it here, but also notify your engineering manager so that they can change the standard work order template. The next thing I want to do is select the class. I'll click on the magnifying glass, and my choices are commercial, military, and private. For this work order, I'm going to select military and click OK. The next thing I want to do is assign it a priority. I'm going to click the drop-down list. My choices are high, standard, and low. I'm going to choose standard for this one. At the bottom of the screen, we have customer details. So we need to select the customer on this purchase order. When I click on the magnifying glass, I get a customer lookup. I can go into the description up here and type in my customer and hit enter. In this example, this is a Pratt MAS work order. I'm going to highlight it and click OK. Next, I need to type in the customer PO number and then the quantity received on this PO. The last thing I need to do on this screen is type in the TO rev number. Since this is an F-119 part, I'm going to type in iEtums revision 80. Now we need to navigate to the Rebuild Refurb Tracking tab. And notice the system gave me a message that this work order was successfully saved. If you make changes on a particular screen and navigate away to a different tab, the system will save it automatically. So here on the Rebuild Refurb Tracking tab, I need to enter that quantity once more. The input part number defaults to a temp asset. When I save this row, the system will change that input part number to the piece of equipment that was noted on the record view. Now I need to type in the output part number that's listed on the purchase order. In this particular case, it's the same as the input part number, so I just type it in here. If I have a serialized part, and again, just a quantity of 1 in this scenario, I can type it in here. After I have all the information entered in, I click on the Save button. And now I can see this row has been added to the Rebuild Refurb Tracking tab. If I discover that I made a mistake or a typo or some other kind of error, I can click on that row and then simply make a change and then hit your Save button again. Now for non-serialized parts, we can have multiple quantities in here. But in the situation where we only have one serialized part, I'll change my quantity to 1 and I will type in the serial number for this part. And again, I'm going to hit Save. And now I'm done. So I'm going to navigate back to the record view. And then I'm going to click on the Print button. And this is going to display the work order package printout. The system will default it with a cover page and then the details of the work order package. If I wish to not print out the cover page, I simply click on the pages and remove that page 1 out of there and then click Print.